always talking about this, and I believe for you to teach somebody something, you have to do it repetitively until they get it inside their head. We're talking about relationship red flags because we see them, okay? We really see these red flags. Sometimes he's not very good at communicating, okay? But you ignore the red flag because he is 6 feet tall. Madam, you're going to be left over there, you know, doing the most. And one of the, I think this is a very common red flag where a person is emotionally unavailable.
Oh, these are red flags when they're about to break up with you. So signs that they're about to break up with you.
Signs they are about to break up with you.
Yeah.
Number one, they become emotionally unavailable. They check out emotionally. And this is especially with women. I would say I've actually done this before, okay? When you're really done with the relationship, you check out completely. Anything he does, those small things that would trigger you and you'd start an argument, you're like, huh, okay. He comes home at 3 a.m., you're like, wow, very nice, stay safe, you know. He does something that would have really triggered you or starts an argument and you're like, okay, yeah, sure. And a prime example of this, I think you've actually seen the viral video. I think it's from a movie where a guy comes home and he tells his girlfriend, I think we should break up. And the girl just says, yeah, sure. And this man is so mad by that reaction. He's like, what do you mean? You don't even care? She's like, what do you mean I don't care? You just came and told me we should break up. What were you expecting? You wanted me to cry and throw a fit? The fact that she's emotionally checked out sends him into another space completely. And it's not just women who actually check out emotionally, even men. Yani, he stops being jealous. And I think, you know, a sign that your man is really in the relationship is those small jealousies, you know. You're passing somewhere and, you know, you get catcalled and he's like, this is mine. This is my girl. And then, you know, it just stops happening, you know.
Yeah.
People can hoot and holler at you and he's just like, yeah, whatever, you know. They're just checked out emotionally. So that is something you should be looking out for.
Absolutely. Another very important one for you to note is when your feelings are not being valued. Like, have you ever been calling someone and you're talking on the phone and then suddenly it becomes a thing of you're trying to express to him or, well, to him that you had like a terrible day or something, like, hey, I had a really tough day today, Yani. I just wanted to come home and get a hug or something like that. And the guy just goes like, why are you always exaggerating everything? Everyone has a bad day. Kwani, we all have to reconsider and re-strategize our whole day simply because you had a bad day. You're always so dramatic, you're being childish, you're being immature, you need to grow up because, you know, life is like that, everyone has a bad day. And you're just going like, wait, shots fired. I just told you I had a rough day. I didn't want you to start giving me a lecture. Oftentimes, that's a sign that there is no value in your emotions, you know? Because naturally, even if it's your friend and they tell you, man, I've had a really rough day, the first instinct or reaction is usually like, what happened, you know? But this person is automatically just trying to shove all the sticks and knives at you even when you've had a really horrible day. That just means, yeah, they're probably not really considering anything and they don't really care. They just want to start an argument. It's one of those situations where you start constantly arguing with someone and then eventually they're like, I know this guy is toxic, and you break up with them. So it's like you're being forced to react in order for you to break up with them.
Exactly.
Yeah, so be careful about that.
And another sign he's going to break your heart, he avoids emotional moments.
Oh,
girls, we've been there, okay? We have been in such situations where this man is always down to do the nasty, down to get down, pull the taps, eat a banana, and do some exercise. But when it comes to, you know, a heart to heart, when the deed is done and you're lying there and you turn over and ask, what are we? He says we are human beings as he runs to the bathroom, you know. We are Homo sapien as he flees and exits the room. You know, it's always something. They're never down to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you. Anytime you get serious about emotional intimacy, basically, anytime you want to talk things out, or even when you have a conflict, they're never down to resolving a conflict. And I used to date such a person, you know.
Oh, no.
You would... You're arguing, you're in a bad space, mumekosana, but this person is never down to sit down and talk about what exactly happened. Like, can we solve this conflict? But they're always down to remove their clothes. You're like, how are you going to get naked in front of me and you know very well that I'm mad at you? You know, it just didn't make sense. Like, how are you down to doing all of that? You're like, you look good. No, I don't look good. I am mad at you and we need to address this, you know? So you should be on the lookout for that, okay? Emotional intimacy. Is it there or is it outside the window?
Absolutely. If you were planning on eating me out, you might as well be ready to eat my feelings with me, because we cannot live like this. Anyway, moving on from that very nasty sentiment, there's another thing that is very, very peculiar about people. Have you ever sat down with someone and asked them, in a relationship, you ask them, so what happened? Why'd you break up with your ex? And they're like, no, that chick was always cheating on me. That chick was always cheating on me. Okay. And what happened to the ex before that? Yeah, she cheated on me too. Hey, what happened to the other ex? Man, all my life, all my girlfriends have always cheating on me. And you're like, okay, cool. Or turn it around. What happened to, how long was your previous relationship? You're like, yeah, it didn't really last. It was like all of 2 months. But there's something about her that I just didn't like and I couldn't put my finger on it. So I broke up with her. And have you ever been in a long-term relationship? Not really. I've never met someone like you who, you know, who is like, who will hold me down and whatever. And then suddenly, later on in the relationship, imefika hiyo month ya pili, yenye alikwambia wali break up na the former lover, and he starts acting funny. Starts withdrawing feelings, as Turi has mentioned. Starts devaluing your emotions and, you know, your expressions of emotions. And you're like, hang on a minute. Is he doing the same thing he did to the other girl with me? And then now you see that and you decide that you're going to still push through and try and pursue this relationship. You're an idiot. That's what you are.
Exactly.
If the signs from the past relationship are being repeated in the second relationship, and you can clearly see that this is very related to the history that he has described for me or to me in the past, that just automatically means that history is about to repeat itself or is repeating itself. And therefore, you need to be out of that history because, honey, that's not your page. That's not your man. Just keep it moving. Be keen on history. Always have conversations about their past, the past relationships. It will give you a clear picture of what that you're supposed to expect. And once you start seeing the things that you're expecting, then it gives you a clear indication that it's time to leave. Yes, people change, but yeah, if you start seeing some signs, yeah, just know they really haven't changed.
Exactly. And that actually happened very recently where I asked somebody, I didn't even ask them, it just came up naturally in a conversation and they were hitting on me and then they said, you know, my ex and I broke up and we divorced. And I'm like, okay, this is not information I needed to know. And then he went on to say she couldn't have children and she had hormonal issues. And I'm like, wow, whoa.
This was
very unnecessary. She cheated on me, she did this. And I'm like, I didn't ask you any of this, you know? And it's really a red flag. Somebody who's very quick to throw
you under the bus.
Even if we broke up with my partner, you'll never hear me say he did this and this and this and this. I'm like, you know what? It didn't work out. Things, you know, we went our separate ways. Just say that. There's no need to say how they broke the plates, they did this, they went to the bathroom, it was stinky. It's just very unnecessary information to be given to strangers about somebody you loved
and
at some
they
point.
never will probably meet.
Exactly.
Like you're just throwing them under the bus unnecessarily.
For what reason? What was the reason? Anyway, another sign is you carry the relationship. Have we not seen this? People who are buying themselves presents and then posting online and saying, thank you, babe. Hello, Nairobi. You know? And you